Hey guys, it's Alana with the FriendlyBands SunshineLoom, and today we're going to be making the Skull and Crossbones Cuff. Now this was a request, but we're also doing this for our Halloween series. So to check out more of those videos, go to our playlist on our FriendlyBands YouTube channel, and you can see all of our different Halloween videos. Now let's get started. First, we're going to pick out our colors. Today I'm going to be using orange, and then black for the eyes, the mouth, and the nose, and then white for the rest of the skull and crossbones. Now we're ready for the Skull and Crossbones FriendlyBands Cuff. We're going to head over to the start side, and we're going to begin going from peg 24 to 48 with an orange rubber band. And now we're going to continue going forward for 7 more for a total of 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Ending on peg number 55. Now we're going to do 5 white for the top of the skull. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to do 7 more orange going forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and now we're going to do 1 going diagonally up to peg number 45. So from peg 67 up to 45. We're going to head back over to the start side, and we're going to go forward for 7 orange rubber bands. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, ending on peg 31. Now we're going to go across for 7 white rubber bands. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to finish up with 7 orange. And that's going to go all the way to that rubber band that we pulled across diagonally. So we're going all the way up to peg 45 here, just doing single overlapping orange rubber bands. And we're ending right there on peg 45. We're going to head back over to the start side. We're going to do 7 rubber bands going forward. So that's 1, 2. What's nice about the outer circle here is that when you're on the second peg, you know you have 2 rubber bands. Here we have 3. We're going to follow this around until we get to 7. So now we've landed on our 7th rubber band, so we have 7 rubber bands. And then we're going to go forward for 1 white rubber band, and then 2 black rubber bands for the top of the eye, and then 1 white rubber band for between the eyes. Right now we're on peg 11, and then we're going forward for 2 black rubber bands for the other eye. And now 1 more for the side of the skull, and we should be on peg number 14. And now we're going forward again with just 6 rubber bands straight, and then 1 diagonal to the middle circle. So we're going to stop our straight rubber bands at peg number 20. Then we're going across diagonally from peg 45 to 20. Now if your rubber band crosses in between the pegs here, you're just going to push that over so that you're between these 2 pegs and not in between the 2 prongs of these pegs. Now we're going to add a double loop on peg number 45. So you can do this 2 ways. you can attach the rubber band to 2 fingers, twist, and reattach, and then put that right on. Or you can do the method that I prefer. You're going to attach, twist, and loop over. We're going to head back over to the start side and lay down our crossbars. I'm going to be using orange today. You're going to skip the first 4 pegs, so peg 1, 24, 25, and 48. We're going across from peg 2 to 49 and then up to 26, making a right side up triangle. We're going to keep making right side up triangles until we get close to the end. Okay, now we're approaching the end here over on the hook side. So we're going to lay our last crossbar across pegs 19, 66, and 43. And we're leaving these last 3 pegs here and then our double loop peg without a crossbar. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 1 of phase 1 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. And now we're ready for step 2, locking our pattern in place. So you're going to grab your FB hook and we're going to head over to the hook side. And now you're going to insert your FB hook into the double loop and then pull around to the back, holding the 2 sides of your double loop on your hook. And then you're going to grab the top rubber band and hook that forward to peg number 20. And again, we're going to go in through the front and pull around to the back and grab the top rubber band going to our middle circle. And again, we're going inside and grabbing that last rubber band up to peg 67. And now I'm going to hook forward the inner circle first. You want to make sure you're inside your teardrop and hook forward. And now inside our teardrop and inside our crossbar, and we're going to hook forward. And we're going to keep doing that all the way around. And we're going to hook forward from peg 48 to 24 and head back over to the hook side. I'm going to do the middle circle. So you're going to push back. This is our double loop right here. You can see it goes around. You're going to push back that double loop and grab the only rubber band that should be on peg 44. You're going to hook that forward to peg 43, push back your crossbar and hook forward. We're going to keep pushing back and hooking forward all the way around. And then on this last one, there is no crossbar. We're just going to pick up from peg 25 and put it down on peg 24. Head back over to the hook side, and we're going to do the outer circle the same way we did the inner circle. So hook forward from peg 20 to 19, then go inside our teardrop and inside our crossbar to hook forward the rest of the way around. And then we're going to hook forward from peg 1 over to peg 24. And this is what the sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 1 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. We're going to attach an FB link onto peg number 24. So take all of the rubber bands onto your hook and stretch it out so you can slide across your FB link. And then we're going to do step 3, removing our creation so far. So just gently tug from side to side releasing the rubber bands off of the pegs. And this is what your cuff should look like after phase 1. We're ready for phase 2. We're going to head back over to the start side. And we're going to start again on pegs 24 and 48. So we're going to go forward with 7 orange rubber bands. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, ending on peg 54. And then we're going to go forward with 1 white rubber band, 1 black rubber band, so we should be on peg 56, and then 3 white rubber bands. That's 1, 2, and 3. So we're on peg 59 now. And then we're going to do 1 more black and 1 more white. And then we're going to go forward with 7 orange rubber bands. So 6 forward and 1 diagonal. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going diagonal from peg 67 up to peg 45. We're going to head back over to the start side. We're going to do the middle row. We're going to go forward from peg 24 to 25, and then go forward for 6 more orange rubber bands. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, ending on peg 31. Now we're going to go forward with 3 white rubber bands. So that's 1, and 2, and 3. Then we're going to do the nose, so that's 1 black rubber band. Then we're going to go forward with 3 more white rubber bands. That's 1, 2, and 3. So at this point you should be on peg number 38. Now we're going to finish up with 7 more orange rubber bands. And that's going to go all the way up to peg number 45. And stopping right there. We're going to head back over to the start side. We're going to do 8 orange going forward. So that's 1 diagonal and 7 going straight. And again, we just follow the numbers here. So that's 1 on our first peg, and then 2, 3, all the way up to 8. So now we're going to do 5 white going forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to finish off this row with 8 orange rubber bands. So we're doing 7 straight and then 1 diagonal up to peg number 45. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 going straight, and then 1 diagonal up to peg 45 from peg 20. We're going to attach our double loop. So again, you can do that on your hand or you can twist and loop like me. We're going to go back to the start side, and now we're going to start laying across our crossbars. First, we're going to lay across crossbars just like we did for the first phase. So you're going to skip the first 4 and just lay across orange triangles right side up all the way around. Okay, we're approaching the end here. Again, we're going to lay our last crossbar across 19, 66, and 43. And we're not done yet. We're going to head back to the start side, and now we're going to attach our first phase. So you're going to take your FB link in the shape of an S, and you're going to put that on your start side. You want to make sure that your eyes are nearest to your next section, your next phase. And then you're going to stretch this a little bit, and you can see where your first crossbar is. It's that first circle. We're going to take that first circle and we're going to put it across our existing crossbars over the first two. So the inner circle, that's here, and then the middle circle. So again, we're just going to lay across our crossbar. You're going to pinch and find that in there, and then lay across our crossbar across the inner and the middle circle. We're going to do that all the way around. Now, a good test for this to make sure you got all of your crossbars is if you run out of crossbars right at the end of your crossbars that are already on the loom. So we're going to go around, and then at the end here, I should just have one crossbar left, and that's going to pull across. I like to attach my double loop onto just a peg down there to hold it across. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 1 of phase 2 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. We're going to head back over to the hook side and grab your FB hook. And we're going to just hook forward like we did on our last phase, except now you have 2 crossbars to push back. So go inside your double loop, pull around to the back, grab the top rubber band to hook forward, go in again, and grab the middle rubber band, and last time for the inner circle rubber band. And now we're going to hook forward the inner circle. And here you want to make sure you're inside both crossbars. So this crossbar, which is the diagonal around, and also your triangle crossbar. Make sure you're inside both of those and inside of your teardrop. So you're going to go inside and hook forward all the way around. And then we're going to hook forward to peg 48 and then across to peg 24. We're going to head back over to the hook side and we're going to push back, again that double loop right there, grab the bottom rubber band and hook forward, and then push back both of your crossbars and hook forward. So you want to make sure you're grabbing the very bottom rubber band from inside your crossbars before you hook forward. And we're going to do that all the way around. Then hook forward to peg 24, head back to the hook side. We're going to do the same thing for the outer circle. This time you only have the one triangle crossbar to push back. We're going to hook forward to peg 1 and then across from peg 1 to 24. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 2 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. And then we're going to take an FB link, put your FB hook through all the rubber bands on peg 24, and pull that tight, slide across your FB link. Now you're ready for step 3, removing our creation so far. So gently tug from side to side all the way around. And this is what your bracelet should look like so far after phases 1 and 2. You could have some of your crossbars coming up through parts like that. That's okay, you can pull those down now or later. And now we're ready for phase 3. So we're going to head back over to the start side, and we're going to do 5 orange rubber bands on our inner circle. So from 24 to 48, up for 2, 3, 4, and 5 rubber bands. So you should be on peg number 52. And then you're going to do 1 white rubber band and 3 orange. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So you should be on peg number 56. Now we're going to do the mouth. So we're doing 3 black. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then 3 orange. That's 1, 2, and 3. 1 white. And then we're going forward with our orange up to peg number 67, and then diagonally across to peg 45. So we're at peg 67, and then we're going up to peg number 45 for a total of 5 orange rubber bands. We're going to head back over to the start side. We're going to do 4 orange rubber bands. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're at peg number 28. We're going to do 2 white, and then we're going to do 3 orange, and then we're going to do 3 white for the chin. So we're going across for 1, 2, and 3. At this point you should be at peg number 36. We're going to do 3 more orange. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then 2 more white. That's 1 and 2. You should be at peg number 41. And we're going to finish up with orange. So we're going forward for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to head back over to the start side and do our outer circle. So we're going forward for 6 orange rubber bands. Again, follow your pegs. That's 1 all the way up to 6. And now we're going to do 2 white rubber bands, and this is part of our crossbones. And then we're going to do 5 orange. Two white. And we're doing 6 more orange. So we're doing 5 going forward. Stopping at peg number 20. And then 1 diagonal up to peg 45. We're going to add our double loop. So attach, twist, and loop over. And then we're going to head back over to the start side to lay across our crossbars. So first we're going to lay across the crossbars from our first 2 phases. So you should have a little bit of a crossbar hanging off of one side. Remember, you have your FB link in the shape of an S on your start side. And then we're just dragging across 2 pegs, so go across peg 49 and 26. And then we're going to keep pulling up crossbars and pulling across all the way around. Okay, and then I like to pull across my double loop and attach that just to hold that tight. Then we're going to head back over to the start side and lay down the rest of our crossbars. And these we're going to put on the outer and the middle circles. Here we're doing from peg 26 to 2. And then just keep going around, going down from the middle circle. We're going to do that all the way around. Okay, and we're stopping here, going from peg 43 to 19, and we're skipping these last 4 pegs. This is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 1 of phase 3 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. We're going to take our FB hook and head over to the hook side, and we're going to pull back our double loop and hook forward to the outer circle, the middle circle, and the inner circle. We're going to hook forward our inner circle. Make sure you push back your crossbar and hook forward all the way around. We're going to hook forward from peg 48 to peg 24, head back over to the hook side, and do our middle circle. Remember to push back your double loop and hook forward. And again, we have 2 crossbars, so push both back and grab the bottom rubber band to hook forward. And we're going to hook forward from peg 25 to 24, head back to the hook side, and do our outer circle. Make sure you're inside the crossbar and the teardrop as you hook forward. Then we're going to hook forward from peg 1 to 24. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 3 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. And then we're going to take our FB link and our FB hook, pull all of the rubber bands on peg 24, slide across your FB link, replace your hook, and you're ready for step 3, removing your creation so far. Alright, and this is going to be a little bit loose at first. Once we get our crossbars pulled across more rows, it'll start to come together. This is what your bracelet should look like at this point. And now we're ready for phase 4. Only 2 little phases to go. You're more than halfway through. And we're going to do 8 orange rubber bands going forward. So 1 diagonal and 7 straight. That's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, ending on peg number 55. We're going to do 2 white. So we're on peg 57, 1 orange, and 2 more white. So we should be on peg number 60. Then we're going to do 8 orange for the finish of this row. So we're going to go forward for 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, ending on peg 67. Then we're going to go diagonal up to peg 45, so 67 up to 45. Head back over to the start side. We're going to do 9 orange this time. So going forward, we're doing, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're on peg number 33. We're going to do 3 white. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do 9 more orange, going all the way up to peg 45. Okay, we're going to head back over to the start side. And we're going to do the same thing we did for the inner circle. So we're going to go forward for 8 orange, ending on peg number 8, of course. And then we're going to do 2 white, an orange, and 2 more white. So we should be on peg number 13 now. And we're going to finish up with 8 orange. And our last one will be a diagonal from peg 20 to 45. So that's 7 straight and 1 diagonal. And we're going to do our double loop, attach, twist, and loop over. And we're going to head back over to the start side to lay down our crossbars. So first we're going to go from peg 26 to 2. So we're laying the right side of our triangle and we're going across all of the pegs. We are skipping our first 4 pegs, 1, 24, 25, 48. We're also skipping our last 4. We're just going to keep going around. And we're stopping at pegs 19 and 43, skipping 44 and 20. We're going to head back over to the start side and attach our previous phases. So again, our FB link, shape of an S on the start side, starting with S. We're going to grab that first crossbar and go across peg 49, 2, and 26. We're going to keep pulling across our crossbars from our previous phase. And we're going to do that all the way around. Now we're approaching the end here and we're going to do our test to see if we did all of our crossbars. And indeed, I did get all the way to peg 66, 43, and 19. I'm going to take my double loop and just pull that across. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 1 of phase 4 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. And now we're going to head over to the hook side for step 2, locking our pattern in place. Again, we're pulling back our double loop and hooking forward to our outer circle, the middle, and the inner. And then we're going to hook forward our inner circle all the way around. We only have 1 crossbar, so just keep an eye on that triangle and make sure you're inside of it. Then we're going across to peg 24, heading back to the hook side, and doing our middle circle. So again, push back and hook forward, and push back here, being careful to get both crossbars, and hooking forward. Push back, grab the bottom, and hook forward all the way around. And we're going to hook forward from peg 25 to 24, head back to our hook side and hook forward the outer circle, being sure we're inside both crossbars before we hook forward that bottom rubber band. We're going to go inside and hook forward all the way around. Then we're going to hook forward from peg 1 to 24. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 4 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. We're going to insert our FB hook into all of the rubber bands on peg 24 and pull tight to drag across our FB link. Then we're going to do step 3, removing our creation so far. We're going to gently tug from side to side all the way around. And this is what your bracelet should look like so far. And guess what, guys? We only have one phase left. So we're on our last phase. You may have some rubber bands you need to pull through for your crossbars. That's okay. So we're going to head over to our start side. And we're going to do 6 orange rubber bands going forward from 24 to 48 all the way up. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're doing 2 white rubber bands. And then 5 orange rubber bands. And then again, 2 white rubber bands. And then our 6 orange. So we're going to do 5 going forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're doing 1 diagonal from 67 to 45. Head back over to the start side. We're doing our middle circle now. So we're going to go forward for 4. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're doing 2 white rubber bands, 9 orange rubber bands. So right now we're on peg number 30. We're going to do 9 orange. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we should be on peg 39. Then we're going to do our 2 white going forward, and then our remaining 4 orange rubber bands. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to head back to the start side, and this is our last row. So we're going to do 5 orange going forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then just 1 white, 9 orange in the middle. So we were on peg 6. We're on peg 7 now with 1 orange. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now we have 1 white. And then we're going to finish up with our orange. So we're going forward for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going diagonally from peg 20 to peg 45. We're ready for our double loop on peg 45. Attach, twist, and loop. And now we're going to lay down our crossbars. So head over to the start side, and your FB links are on your start side. You're going to drag across your crossbars. There should be just one little piece hanging off on the end. And we're going to pull that across, skipping our first 4 pegs, going to 2, 49, and 26. You're going to want to make sure you grab every crossbar all the way around. And here's your final check. You should have just one crossbar going forward. And I attach my double loop. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 1 of phase 5 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. We're going to head back over to the hook side, grab our FB hook, go inside our double loop, grab that top rubber band, and the next one, and the last one. And we're going to hook forward our inner circle, pushing back and hooking forward all the way around. And we're going to hook forward to peg 48 and across to peg 24. Head back to the hook side and do our middle circle. Don't forget that first rubber band on peg 44. Push back your double loop and hook forward. And push back your crossbars and hook forward all the way around. And we're going to hook forward from peg 25 to 24, head back to the hook side and do our outer circle, making sure we're inside the teardrop and the crossbar all the way around. And then we're going to hook forward from peg 1 to peg 24. And this is what your sunshine loom should look like after step 2 of phase 5 of the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff. Good job, guys. You got through 5 whole phases. So now we're going to insert our FB hook into all of the rubber bands on peg 24, stretch that out, and slide across our FB link. Now we're ready for our final removal. So our last step 3. What's nice about the Sunshine Loom circular design is this bracelet will go all the way around your wrist with just one kit. And I know it was 5 phases, but it's totally worth it in the end. Make sure you check out our Friendly Bands YouTube channel for more tutorials. We post new videos every week, and we'd love to see your comments and your likes. So now we're going to find all of our double loops, and I like to put them just on the outer circle next to each other so I can attach my FB links a little easier. So you're going to grab your double loops and put them on just any 5 pegs, and then stretch and slide across your FB link. Just as easy as that. Alright, and there you have it. That is the Skull and Crossbones Friendly Bands Cuff from the makers of the Sunshine Loom. Bye guys, see you later.